has come in here and won a game, so we get it. You know that he's a good football player, and we don't slight that at all. So with that, we've got a good week of preparation as we go forward here. So with that, time's yours.
Coach, you mentioned other head coaches, and this week the Pro Football Hall of Fame narrowed its finalist list of head coaches under consideration. One, were you surprised that Mike Holmgren did not get in last year? And two, what's your argument for or against Marty Schottenheimer?
Yeah, I was very surprised that Mike didn't get in last year. At the time, I've said this before, but at the time, I didn't think, when I was working for him, I didn't think anybody did it better than Coach Holmgren. And I still feel that way today after being a head coach and so on. So he had a great feel for the whole thing. And then as far as Marty Schottenheimer goes, I had the utmost respect for Marty. I think he's well deserving to be in the Hall of Fame too. He would go down not only as a great player but also as a great coach. So a lot of success in his career, in a couple different spots, and so and phenomenal guy on top of that. Yeah.
Just considering Trey's a little bit banged up, Mike Caliendo, just your confidence.
Yeah, so we've always looked at Mike as a starter. I think all the guys do, coaches do. So everybody's got the confidence that when he comes in, you just pick up and go. And I mean, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about him. I think I'm just speaking for the gang here.
Could you speak to the progress that Rashard Smith has made?
Yeah, he's done a nice job of picking it up. That position, you've got to know the pass game, the run game, and then you have these protections that you've got to take care of. And they get a little crazy, the protections do, with all the different looks that defenses are throwing at you, and then also, as many protections as we have, different types of protections we have. And he's hung right in there and done a good job. We've been able to give him a little bit more each week in different roles. We're moving them all over the place. I wouldn't see that part changing. We're going to keep utilizing his talents, hard work, all that. The intangible stuff's great. So.
With Kareem out today, but he's been performing very well, especially those short yardage situations. You knew he was the back to kind of try to do that, but overall as a team, you performed well in short yardage situations. Just what's been the key to that success?
Yeah, Kochek he sets that up, and I think the scheme is good, but I also think Kareem has a special feel for that, and Pop too. But Pop jumped in and he had one nice short yardage play too. So, but as far as the run game goes, Kareem he's always had a knack for that, and he's a load on top of that. He's a big kid. Strong.
Coach, I counted like 5 snaps where you had Hollywood, Xavier, and Rasheed all on the field at the same time. We talk so much about getting them on the field at the same time, but how much of it is also just the advantage of having those 3 guys in waves too?
Yeah, listen, they all contribute and contributed in that game. You've got Thornton, who also stepped up over the last few weeks, and then Juju in the mix. So you got a load of guys here, and we try to keep them all going. So you can kind of throw fastballs out there the best way you can. And we weren't counting numbers of those 3 on the field at the same time, but I know when they were out there, it looked good.
Coach, Washington looks like they've been a little bit up and down on defense this year. What do they look like right now as you guys get ready to face them?
Yeah, that front, again, we've played against some crazy fronts here, so it's different than years past. This group is right there. I mean, that front is an explosive bunch, and their pass game, I mean, they're as good as anybody rushing the passer. So we'll have our work cut out for that. And then their linebacking crew is good. They've been banged up a little bit on the back end, but I think they're starting to get people back and kind of in place where they want them. So, yeah.
So is there anything you want to sort of build upon? You see now that it's week 2, after seeing him through a game?
Yeah, so Nate, we set out to get him 40%, 40% or around that area. And it came out to 41%. So the way it worked out, he didn't play the fourth quarter, so, and probably wanted to, but I think if you increase it from there, you keep it increasing. He came out feeling good, so that was a positive. Now he gets another week of practice under his belt, and I think he can keep his numbers going up.
Harvey?
Coach, with Omar Norman Lott going to injured reserve, two-part question here. What's your comfort level with the interior defensive line? And secondly, is Mike Gannon an option to slide in there and play more snaps?
Yeah, so Mike does. He jumps in there, and he does now. He gets snaps in there. So, but he's an option for sure. He's a good football player. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good with where we're at. Although I thought Omar was coming on for sure. He's going to be a good football player after he gets this thing worked on. So.
Seren?
Coach, it's kind of been a roller coaster with Juwan Taylor and the penalties and everything. You seem to have it. I know you guys were talking about it's got to change, it's got to turn. It seemed to. Was there anything that in particular got him, locked in?
Yeah, I think it was just his mindset on things and making sure that he took care of business there. I think he's done a great job with it, and I think that'll continue. I'm not saying that every lineman has one here and there, but you don't want to stack them up. That's not a good thing. Right now he's playing real good football, and that's a plus. Even when he was jumping off, his numbers were rich, and as far as win percentage goes. Take care of that business, and he's got something going right now.
Bye.
Andy, you've spoken to this before, but it seems like Jalen Warren was missed a beat, and the continuity in your line is something you haven't really had that way for a little while. What's that done for you? I mean, it's probably self-evident, but what's that doing for you to be able to have that?
Sure. As long as those guys do well, it makes everybody's job a little bit easier. And none of it's easy, but listen, it helps everybody out. Other people benefit from the line doing well, from the quarterback, receivers, running backs, and right now they're holding their own in there for sure.
And we talked a lot about Patrick's sort of faith in that and the confidence he gets from it. Is it a little different coaching when you can count on it more the way you've been able to this season?
Yeah, I think every coach would say, that if the line's doing good, you're willing to call certain things or not call certain things. Yeah, for sure.
Last one, Sam?
Andy, I just wanted to clarify something on it. When you said you've had positive communication with Josh, but you guys are in the same spot as wait and see on any potential timeline.
It's been positive. He's just taking care of business. So that's the main thing right here. He's certain. When you deal with this, that's what you do. And he's been very good about communicating it.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.
All right, so there is the answer to a timeline, which is no timeline, but there is more information there at least. Andy Reid saying with Josh Simmons that there's communication. Not going to get into that. It's all positive. He's taking care of family. Then they're saying it's been positive. It's good. Taking care of business. You got to do those things. You're listening to KCFX HD for Harrisonville, WHB, Kansas City. We'll hear from Patrick Mahomes here in just a little bit. But there is at least another step in the story. A little more information, some morsels, a breadcrumb here or there of Josh Simmons. At least it's all positive. He's taking care of family, taking care of business. So, but no timeline when he will return. So there you go.
So update, there is no update.
Update is, well, I would say at least the update there is, because when he says, Veach is handling that, and he's not saying anything, there's a reason last week, I believe it was just Veach is handling that. We're not going to say anything.
Sure.
Where now this is, hey, there's communication. Mm-hmm. It's all positive. He's taking care of family. Because last week it's a family matter. And then Jesse Newell was like, Andy, just to clarify, Josh Simmons, it's a family thing. It was a personal matter. I was like, okay, so did Andy Reid misspeak with family, or did he let a little bit out of the bag and then went back to personal? And now this week he said family both times, that he's dealing with the family matter. It's a family issue. He's taking care of family. And he's got to take care of all that. He's got to take care of business, but would not answer on the timeline.
Well, Jalen Moore is taking care of business on the field right
100%.
now, and
Yep.
that's a nice thing to have. Of you can allow Jalen Moore or Josh Simmons to deal with whatever he's dealing and going through right now. And as far as the on-field aspect of things, I think we're all comfortable with Jalen Moore right there. I know I am, and I thought he was going to be the starter this year to begin with, and Jalen Moore has done more than a fine job. I think fine job is underselling what Jalen Moore has done so far.
I will say, as fine as Jalen Moore, fine job, underselling, good job, whatever it might be, that what he's done filling in for Josh Simmons, I will say I'd prefer, and I think everybody would, when they come back from the bye and they're in Denver facing off against Nick Benito, I'd like to see Josh Simmons in there. Hopefully Jalen Moore, is good enough and holds his own against Nick Benito, but that's the next real challenge of, here's a defensive end that's going to line up on your side, is fast, is good, can do speed to power, a number of things. And do you have the left tackle to handle that to where you don't have to give help? Because they were not giving help to Josh Simmons.
No.
He was winning the pass protection reps with no help. And I haven't looked to see how much Jalen Moore got help with those, little plot graphs.
Well, we talked about it last year. The Chiefs don't give a lot of help to their tackles. I mean,
Even
especially
when it was
left tackles. I mean, remember that? You look at those plot charts and you're like, why aren't they helping Wanye, or why aren't they helping Kingsley? Just on an island, just let them hang out over there.
Yeah, and they've done that with Josh Simmons, and doing that really, again, you'll be doing that with Jalen Moore. This week, in theory, shouldn't be an issue. Buffalo, in theory, shouldn't be an issue. But after the bye week, Nick Benito would be an issue. Is Josh Simmons back with the team? And if he's back with the team, is he in good enough shape to go out and play 100% of the snaps on offense at left tackle, where he was clearly in good enough shape at that point? But if you've left, you're taking care of family.
The
Are you
Andrew
working
Thomas
out?
situation with the Giants, where you're like, you get a half, or you get 25 snaps, or I get that.
Yeah. Are you working out? Are you doing those things? Are you still trying to keep yourself in game shape while you're taking care of business wherever you may be? I have no idea. Only the Chiefs would know that. So I would say that there's probably a decent chance that whatever the timeline is for Josh Simmons to return, it's going to be a longer timeline for Josh Simmons to return to play. Whether that's a week, a couple quarters, whatever it might be, I don't think he's going to return to Kansas City and boom, exactly what he was right before that Lions game.
I know Patrick's coming up, so real quick with Patrick, I am ready to say he's the MVP. I had him second.
About time.
Well, I had him second behind Baker Mayfield, and then I go, all right.
Yeah.
Well, they play the same team. This time without Brian Branch for the Lions, by the way.
No, that doesn't matter.
And one team put up 31 or 30, and the other team put up 9. Now, I get it. I get Baker's receiving core was banged up, but we ain't using excuses, baby. It's the NFL.
No, it doesn't matter. The Lions, Kelvin Shepard was amazing against Tampa and showing you how good that defense is. And against the Chiefs, they were just injured. Injured. Here's Patrick Mahomes.
You executed so well against the Raiders. What do you take from that and learn from it to try to bring it into the next game?
Yeah, I mean, every game you can look at and you find things that you can be better at. And so for us, I think it's just going and looking at those plays where we didn't execute it at the level that we wanted to. And we were able to cover that up with some other big plays in certain drives. But at the same time, you learn from the mistakes that you made throughout the game, and you see what you did well and then try to maximize that as well. And so it's a steady building process that we have to continue to get better.
How impressive is it what Jalen's been able to do these past 2 games in place of Josh?
Yeah, he's done a great job, I mean, he's been ready. He comes to work every single day, Truce Pro. He comes to work with the mentality of being ready for that next snap. And so he's done it all throughout training camp, and now he's done it in the regular season, and that's the reason that he's here.
Patrick, it's been a couple of years since you guys, for lack of a better term, made it look so easy on offense. How much more entertaining is it? How much more fun is it when you feel like you guys can just kind of do whatever you want?
Yeah, I mean, I think just having success. You train so hard to go out there and have success on every drive, and whenever you're able to go out there and do that, man, it is something that you're happy about. But at the same time, you have to continue to get better and better. And in this league, defenses adjust and they challenge you to be even better. And so we'll continue to build. I feel like we still have a long ways to go, and we're just kind of hitting our stride. Let's continue to get better and better as the season goes on.
Patrick, you talked about how that post snap count and the play at the goal line, like you actually practice these things. How many of those plays do you actually have, like at your disposal, and are they important for like morale, to lighten the mood, to like make things fun?
I mean, I don't know if he ever said. I think Coach does do that. He kind of gives us some plays that we can work on and kind of keep the energy level high because you're trying to execute it when you get a chance to run it in the game. But there's a lot of plays that we work on, especially throughout training camp and stuff like that. And then there's plays that come to us with every single week that they're new and that are innovative and are made for specific situations. You just don't know if that situation is going to happen this week or if it's going to happen at the end of the year. I mean, everybody talks about the Rose Bowl play that we had. That we worked on that from OTAs and we didn't run it till the Super Bowl. So I mean, that's just stuff you have to stay on the details because you never know when that exact moment's going to come up.
Patrick, there was only kind of 5 snaps where you had Xavier, Rasheed, and Hollywood on the field at the same time. How much of it is not just those few opportunities where you're going to have all 3 out there, but now that you've got those guys coming in waves, so you've got 1 or 2 every single down? Yeah,
I think it speaks to the room. I mean, we have a lot of talented guys there, and so you never know where it's going to hit. And obviously, Rasheed's going to get a big amount of targets and receptions with Xavier same way, and then Hollywood. But at the same time, Tyquan can hit a 30-yard completion at any moment. Juju can hit a 15, 20-yard completion at any moment. Rashad can hit a 20-yard completion at any moment. You don't know where it's going to come from, and so that's a luxury for us is that you want to keep defenses guessing. And I mean, all these guys are going to get a lot of catches, and they're going to have their moment, but they'll be ready to go whenever that moment comes.
Shard, this week you have Cliff Kingsbury again this week. What are some of your best memories from being recruited to Texas Tech and playing there?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the first people I would say that truly believed in me in playing the quarterback position, and so he gave me a ton of advice of refining me, but letting me still just be me and play to my strengths. And so a great coach, a great person that I still stay in touch with, not as much this week, but throughout my career. And he helped me get to where I'm at today because he didn't put me in a box and tell me I need to play quarterback this way. He let me just go out there and be myself and be the how I play the way they got me there. And I think that's something that's special about him as a coach.
You mentioned Rashard. Just how about the progress he's made in such a short amount of time?
Yeah, he's made a ton of progress, and he'll continue to get better and better. I mean, Coach Reed's offense is hard, especially for that running back position, because you have to do so many things as far as running, catching, blocking, all the different things. And he's been a sponge, man. He's been learning a ton, and whenever he gets his opportunities, he's making plays happen. And I think he's just another weapon in this offense, and he'll continue to get more and more snaps. And then he's done a great job in special teams as well, which I think gets lost in the fold of things, which is huge on our team.
Patrick, did you have people that did want you feel like, I'm not asking for names, if you want to volunteer names, great, but did you feel that in the recruitment process?
I wouldn't say that, but I just always, you kind of hear that undertone of that talking of you can't play that way. Coach Kingsbury never ever forced me to be just a pocket passer or hold the ball a certain way. He just let me. He would obviously help with my footwork and stuff like that and going through progressions, but he would just let me play when it came to playing. He's like, once you get to the game, you got to go out there and just play your game. And same with Coach Reed and Nash. When I got here, it was they wanted to keep refining, but at the same time, they want me to go out there and just play the game the way it got me here. And so I've been blessed because you can go to some situations, and I've seen quarterbacks in other situations that their game gets kind of boxed in and they don't get to be the best version of themselves.
I know it's a long time ago when you got recruited, but we'd heard stories before that, like, Texas was one you maybe changed positions and things like that. Were those things happening when you were in high school? Or?
A little bit. Texas, I don't know if it was that bad. I mean, it was just more of I went to like one of those like recruiting days, I think it was junior day, sophomore day, whatever it was. And they told me they wanted me to. I went to walk to the quarterbacks, and they were like, "We're actually bringing you here for the safeties." So that was kind of. At the time I did play safety, it had a lot of picks, so I understood that, but I knew that I didn't like tackling people, so I knew that wasn't going to be for me. And then most teams in colleges thought I was going to play baseball, and I think that was something that scared away a lot of colleges, just because my dad played, and other guys were kind of getting recruited at quarterback position and going and playing baseball. But I ended up sticking with football, and Texas Tech believed that I could play both in college, and then end up choosing football at the end.
Is that
I know you're
mental-
not playing the other quarterback, but this is a matchup a lot of people looked at when the schedule came out. Jaden Daniels was going to play, and he's not going to play this time. Is it a little bit disappointing you're not going to both be out there doing this?
Yeah, I mean, you want to go up against the best of the best, and Jaden, with the way he played last year, man, he's in that category, and so he's a talented football player. I've watched plays since he was at Arizona State, the LSU, and to now in the NFL, and Cliff speaks extremely highly of him as a person, and so I'm hoping he gets healthy sooner rather than later, but at the same time, man, I know Marcus can play too. I mean, I've seen it firsthand at Arrowhead in the playoffs, and I've seen him play throughout my entire career and have a lot of successful games, including this year. And so we understand it's still going to be a great challenge going up against a great football team and a guy that's had a lot of success in the NFL.
Going back to that recruitment process you were just talking about, it's that kind of mentality of like, hey, I got something to prove still. Does that still carry you to this day, just those memories of that?
Not necessarily. I think I'm just wired that I like want to win. I think that's that more than anything. It's not about proving anyone wrong or anything like that. It's just like I'm here and I've gotten this opportunity. Why not maximize it? And so I didn't get a lot of offers, but at the time I didn't know anything different. You know, I was so excited when Texas Tech offered me that I had a chance to go to college and play football. And looking back on it now and watching my tape, I'm like, I would have offered me, but at the time I knew nothing different.
What are your memories of the Titans game that you mentioned, just from your personal experience of that game?
Yeah, I mean, it was just such a crazy swing of momentum, you know, and there was a couple of plays here and there that kind of changed the whole thing. If you talk about the Derek Johnson sack, fumble that didn't get called, and then Marcus making that crazy play where the ball gets tipped, he catches it, scores a touchdown, and then Travis getting hurt right before the half. I mean, there was just so many momentum, so many plays that were had so much momentum that we didn't capitalize on, which I've learned from is like you can't let those plays completely change the game. You have to find ways to manage that, and so definitely a learning lesson. Even though I think the play in that game, a learning lesson for me on how big football games, big plays really do matter.
Do you feel any kind of connection to Marcus through the quarterback documentary? Was it enlightening for you about him and you guys going through that same kind of thing, or just separate matters?
100%. I mean, just the quarterback position in general, man. You see it like it's not always just top. Like you have a lot of great moments, but there's times throughout every season, even for me, that you go through these adverse time and you have to push through to be even better. And I'm proud of him, man, because he's had a lot of great moments. He's had moments that he wanted to get back, but at the same time, he's persevered and got better and better. And now he's in a great spot now where he's obviously teaching Jaden. But when he comes in the game, man, you can tell he's one of the top tier backup quarterbacks that's going to go out there and have success whenever his number's called. And that's a special spot to be. And I think he's done a great job and had a great career in the NFL.
Okay, thanks, Patrick. Thanks, Pat. Thank you.
All right, there's Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's been a long-standing joke about, well, you know, Texas recruited Johnny Manziel to play safety, right? That's been going on for a long time since he was at A&M, because Manziel said, you know, Mac Brown and all the people at Texas were like, we never offered him anyway. We certainly didn't offer him to play safety. But Johnny Manziel was saying, yes, but Texas' interest in me was as a safety. They didn't offer me because I wasn't a good enough safety. So when Texas goes, we never offered Johnny Manziel. Yeah, we know. That's the point. You recruited him to play safety. And Patrick Mahomes saying it shows up to the recruiting camp at Texas, and he walks over with the quarterbacks, and they go, we actually brought you here to play safety. Like, I mean, it's just the hits just keep on coming for Texas and Texas quarterbacks that went on to, one, win a Heisman, and two, be the greatest that ever played. Yeah. That show up to camp, and both times are like, yeah, you're here to play safety. You're not here to play quarterback for us. We've got these real quarterbacks here. You guys and your crazy, playmaking things like that. No. We play quarterback the right way around here.
You can be a playmaker, make plays in the secondary.
That's so great, man. I went to the recruiting camp. I walked over with the quarterbacks, and they told me, we actually brought you here to play safety. It's unbelievable, dude. But obviously goes out of his way, and he's done this about Cliff Kingsbury. And I will echo what Patrick Mahomes has said. I really appreciate Kingsbury not messing up Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Because we see Patrick Mahomes as Patrick Mahomes. If he got to college and the coach was like, yeah, here's how we play quarterback. All right, you don't do those things. That's not going to work in college what you did in high school, because you're not playing at White House High School anymore. You're playing at Texas. You're playing at A&M, although they let Manziel be Manziel. So whatever it might be. But Cliff Kingsbury, who's a offensive quarterback guy, is like, yeah, I'll help you with footwork and I'll help you read the defense, but go be you. That's why we recruited you. We recruited you to be you, so go play. And there's an element of like understanding what you have and being able to cultivate that while also, acknowledging that Cliff Kingsbury, not a great head coach.
He's a very good coordinator. He
And
seems like a
can
really
see talent,
good yes.
And saw what Patrick Mahomes had, right?
Yes.
And said, I'm not going to change you. I'm going to let you be you.
I think there's a lot of coaches who sometimes head coaches might be too much, but they're very good in, I don't want to say lesser roles, but in more specific roles. We've seen it time and time again, and Kingsbury seems like that guy. Hell, we've seen with Spagnuolo. Spagnuolo is maybe the best DC in the history of the game, but we've also seen his tenure as a head coach not go great. Now, a lot of that can be who's on your team. You're not the GM.
Mm-hmm.
You might not get to pick the quarterback. You might not have a lot of say in this. But what I do know is some of these guys are very, very good. For example, I think Kingsbury got to pick Kyler Murray as his quarterback because they were 1-1.
He got there. Josh Rosen was there. He got there the year after they drafted Josh Rosen, and he said, we are all in on Rosen. This is not, yes, Kyler Murray, all that, but we are fully 100% committed to Josh Rosen.
He wasn't wrong there, by the way.
At that time. This week, we're fully committed to Josh Rosen. This week, we are committed to Josh Rosen. They also traded him to Miami for like a second round or two.
Yeah, that was also shocking. And then
they missed on Rosen
again.
Yeah, they missed on Rosen as a first rounder, but they still got a second rounder back for him, and got Kyler Murray with the number 1 overall pick. Like, man, so the Colts gave the Eagles a first rounder for Carson Wentz.
Yeah, that's still
and that helped start
mind-blowing.
That helped start the domino for the Eagles. They had a bad year one year, and they're picking in the top 10, and then they trade back and they pick up extra picks. Then they get the first rounder for Carson Wentz, and then they trade back and they get extra picks. And because they have extra picks, they trade one for A.J. Brown, in the draft.
It works sometimes.
Yeah.
The Chiefs. It worked for the Chiefs with trading Tyreek.
Yeah.
You could say it's maybe not worked for the Cowboys, who now we're trying to bring in and pay a edge rusher because they let Micah Parsons go.
And you get somebody else's high pick, and then you trade back from that high pick to number 11, and then number 10's there, and you trade up to number 10, and you now have more in that exchange than you did, and you get Jalen Carter. Well, it doesn't happen without, Carson Wentz being traded and having a bad year where you had, 4 or 5 wins, whatever that was.
Fleecing.
Yes.
No, they
when
they
Howie
were not,
Roseman,
they won 8 games, I thought, that year.
When Howie Roseman, the year that they had like a top 10 pick because it was their top 10 pick. I can't remember what that was.
You mean the Eagles? I think you mean the Colts.
No,
the
I'm
Colts
sorry.
could have been the playoffs that year. It was Carson Wentz choke in the very end of the game.
Right, but it was whatever the year the Eagles. So they started with that, and you trade something here or there, and then you get the Carson Wentz thing, and they traded. One year they had 2 first rounders, and they traded out of the first rounder for a first rounder the next year. So that's great that when you have those things, that Howie Roseman was doing that, but also Howie Roseman was in a position when they had a top 10 pick of like, what's Howie Roseman doing? And also he took Jalen Reagor right ahead of Justin Jefferson. So what's that all about, right?
And somehow he doesn't get flagged for that as enough as he should.
But since then, since he's been able to play the draft trade game and trade down and trade down and trade down, which people have talked about, collect more lottery tickets, you can do that when you trade Carson Wentz for a first rounder, right? And he also got a number of things right. Jalen Carter was a right pick,
Yeah.
He didn't draft Jalen Hurts to be the quarterback of the future. They drafted Jalen Hurts to be sort of like a gimmicky guy and a backup that maybe can do some different things with while Carson Wentz was their guy. And it turns out Jalen Hurts, pretty damn good quarterback. But, you also had some higher second-round picks and things like that. Like, you got to be right about those things, too. But, they draft Rosen, trade him for a second-rounder to Miami. Good call, Miami. And you take Kyler Murray, and Kingsbury ultimately ends up as an offensive coordinator with the Commanders and does a fine job as an OC. And I'd be perfectly fine if Kingsbury was an OC for the Chiefs or Josh McDaniels an OC for the Chiefs. There's some guys that just don't want him to be the head coach, but if that guy's coordinating offense, I'll take it,
What about Mike McDaniel? He said Josh.
Did I say Josh? Well, I meant Josh McDaniels, who's now in New England.
Oh, you want that guy? I don't want that guy.
I'd take him as offensive coordinator.
No, he seems like a nightmare.
I mean, he's a nightmare for defenses right now for what he's doing
if
with
I
the
had to
Patriots.
choose, yeah, but if I had to choose Josh or Mike, give me Mike.
I don't want
either. but I want Mike as the run game coordinator.
I'd be totally fine with Josh McDaniels as an OC. I don't want him as the head coach.
I want Mike McDaniels as the Miami head coach, as the run game coordinator, because when teams understanding that Tua can't throw the football at all, give me Mike.
Maybe. But also, why can't you have a better offense with those guys? Here's Nick Bolton.
You guys have been progressing as you roll through with the running game this season, and where do you guys feel like you are right now?
It's been exciting to just be a part of, just being out there with my teammates, knowing that it started here at practice, so just bringing that energy over to the game, to the big lights, is important.
Isaiah, it seems like the last couple of games you've had a little more burst and opportunity. Have you seen something that's helped you find more of yourself?
Yes, Coach TJ upstairs, is taking time after practices. This is like 3 weeks now, and getting that extra work after practice and detailing the work and just finding ways and more room to get back to the way I was as far as playing fast, physical, and that just carries over to the next opponent once you build off of a good game, or just find ways to build off of the missed assignments.
We thought it was going to be Nick Bolton. Obviously, this is Isaiah Pacheco.
You came back more than you expected to be as you got yourself back into the flow.
No, just find that rhythm, getting in the mix, just trusting everything, and just allowing the game to come to me.
Hey, Pop, can you please talk about your offensive line? And they've had some injuries this last game. And did you notice any difference?
I noticed once the game was over, because I didn't know like Trey was out or whoever may have been hurt. I just know that we were playing fast, and kind of like it felt like it was, guys were getting rotated, and it felt like it was the backfield, because that's what happens, next guy up mentality. If you're in the backfield, you got another player in and keep rolling. Same thing goes for O-line. Got another guy in, ready to go, and keep rolling.
How would you describe Rashard's progress?
He's doing great in the room. Mental toughness has been good, physical, and he's excited.
I know it's kind of probably a weird spot for him. He got a bunch of carries in the fourth quarter, but everybody knew it was going to be a run every time and all that stuff. What do you think he could learn from a situation like that? Because that's not easy sledding when they all know the ball's just getting run.
Yes, something you could learn from it is 4 minutes. It's a 4-minute situation. We want to finish with the ball in our hands and just run the ball. That's what we do. Knowing the defense, knowing they're going to run the ball and just not allowing them to stop us, and just getting better in those situations, knowing the situation, and just keep building off it as a unit.
When you look at the Commanders on tape, last week they had a tough week last week. Coach says they got a really good line up front, though. They look like they've been a little bit up and down this year on defense. What do you see from them right now as you guys get ready for this?
Yes, you got guys flying to the ball over there. Great team. They got good leadership over there. So it's come down to the mentality up front, start to finish, and all of us together.
Couple more. Do you look at the standings? Are you keep track of where you are or where the playoffs would sit right now, or is that something you don't mess with?
No, I don't mess with that. Take it one game at a time. Got to in this league. Every team that comes and plays like it's their championship. This is our championship as well. So you just know that, having that in the back of your head, that this is a championship every week.
Can you please talk about your relationship with Kareem and how you guys feed off of each other?
Yes, great relationship. Phenomenal. He's an older guy. He's been around this building for a while now, and he's coming back and getting in that groove. Just during the situation as far as me being out when I got hurt, him stepping up, playing a huge role, and just throughout that whole postseason, through the season, just being a great leader, being accountable, and as far as me, just keep my head up, my chin up, being able to know when I'm in or when I'm out of there, knowing the situation, being able to adjust.
Last one, anyone? Thanks, Isaiah.
Thanks, Isaiah.
All right, there's Isaiah Pacheco, who has played better football. Certainly the numbers bear out that he's been playing a little bit better football.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm fine with how the running back room is right now, which is why I don't think, and I'm totally cool with the Chiefs not being in the market for a running back right now. Like Isaiah Pacheco early down, he's not amazing. He's not the worst running back there is. Compared to what he was last year after the injury, I think he's got more explosion back. Short yardage situation, Kareem Hunt, as Andy Reid said, has a feel for that. He absolutely does. He's been very good at that. And then what Brashard Smith offers and brings to the table in the passing game, and as a change of pace back at times, like it's a good combination that's back there, as opposed to just here's one running back that's a high-level guy, which would be great.
Yeah.
But what's it going to take to bring that guy in, learn the system, learn the blocking, get used to different offensive linemen tendencies and what they do and how they do it? Like, yeah, it may take a little bit, and it's why we focused more on the defensive line, getting help in there. These three guys combined, passing, rushing, and third down / short yardage situation, I think they're fine at that position.
I think fine's the right word. They're creating a solid player in the aggregates, what they're doing, really, with Brashard Smith as your pass catcher. Again, as you mentioned, Kareem on short downs, which I felt very comfortable with Kareem. Is it a tell? Maybe. Can the other team stop it? No. It's a little bit like the tush push.
Yeah.
Not quite that dominant, but it's a little bit of a, when Kareem's in the game, he's probably getting the ball. And he's also probably going to pick it up. Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah.
Isaiah Pacheco has, I don't know if impressed is the right word, but again, he's been better than the first few weeks of the season, and we all thought, okay, no, this is an issue. This is a problem. It's no longer a problem. Again, they're playing at a C level. If you're a teacher, you're handing out C's. They're average. They're fine. They're are they great? Are they your best student? No. Are you failing them? No. They just had to get back and study a little more, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, different guys bring certain things to the table, and it's almost like the running back room mirrors to a degree the wide receiver room. Only, there's one running back typically on the field at a time, although they did run some 21 personnel in the game. They had one of the screen passes to Brashard Smith, was Smith and Pacheco on the field at the same time. So that was a nice little wrinkle. But it's like what we talked about. Here's what Pacheco does. Here's what Hunt does. Here's what Brashard Smith does. And this is them together as a whole. Here's what Rashee Rice does. Here's what Xavier Worthy does. Here's what Hollywood Brown does. Here's Tyquan and Juju and Kelsey and Gray and all of those guys together. Here is Nick Bolton.
And have an extra day.
Yeah, definitely took advantage of that. Kind of got our legs back a little bit. Kind of got a little rest, spent some time doing some things outside of football, family, friends, played my dog a little bit. So just refreshing the mind a little bit. But we also got a lot of football, a lot to play, a lot of things to improve on. Even with 0 points, there's things you can improve on. So I was working on those things this week.
What's it like watching a game where you had 30 overall plays, and I mean, even Chris said after the game, I'm feeling pretty nice about it. It's like, But what's it like when you have little to really review from a previous game going to the next game?
Yeah, it's always learning curves, man. There's some communication things, things you can go here and there, especially in my position. There's a lot of noise when I'm out there on defense, so learning when not to make a check or making a bad check or just making things in a timely manner, things you can always improve on throughout the week. But obviously we didn't play that many snaps, so playing around, we were fresh, so energy and effort, but definitely was one of the things we're working on.
Nick, you guys have faced a lot of backs this year against other teams that have almost production. I guess why is this team been so good against the run, especially against the elite running backs?
Yeah, so that's for our D-line. I think they do a great job of taking on blocks for us, putting two hands on guys and getting us run-throughs. I took advantage of those early in the game, but also just the coaches putting a great scheme together. I'm taking away what they want to do best, make them do the second or third thing, and then after that, we're just flying around. Production at the ball. We're just trying to have fun. I think we got me, Leo, and Drew. We're trying to fight to the football, so see who gets there first, and that's kind of our mindset every play.
What stands out about Washington?
Yeah, what stands out is about the offensive tackles obviously been playing great for them. They do a great job to get their pass catchers back. So it's going to be an added boost to those guys, and the running backs are doing great this year. One's averaging 5.3, I think, per carry. And you got another one averaging, I think, 4.2 or something like that. So it's going to be a challenge for us up front. I've stopped the run early, give them favorable downs for us, and check out the quarterback.
You've been able to play from the front the last couple of weeks. How much the offense has really been going? How much does that help you guys when, how much does that make them one-dimensional when they got to start chasing the point total?
Yeah, obviously the last couple of weeks it's been a lot of that. To run teams early and then getting to the later half of the game, having to pass the ball a little bit to score points. So obviously it helps us a lot. I just joke around with those guys, just don't score in 3 minutes and keep the 8-minute, 9-minute drives out there so we're always fresh. But yeah, man, the scoring points, man, I think it's giving us a lot of juice on offense and defense and also special teams and giving the crowd a little juice too. So we're pumping those guys up, put the ball in the end zone, baby, we're gonna have good games.
What do you prepare for with Mariota? It's a little different look than Daniels.
Yeah, they do a great job of keeping the offense kind of similar in things that they do. Mariota runs the ball a little bit more, kind of with his legs a little bit, but overall, kind of come in with their offense, their scheme, and things they want to attack us with. They kind of just kind of marry with that a little bit. Obviously, Jane Daniels is a great player and great down the field throws and stuff, and but I just think they do something similar to both of those.
When was the last time you were, I didn't check Mizzou,
Yeah.
you were involved in a shutout?
Oh man, maybe a long time ago, maybe high school. It's been quite a while. Actually, it might have been my freshman year in college. One of those two. It's been a long time since I had that much production on defense and having less than 5 first downs and less than 100 yards. So it's definitely hard to do in this league. So you're going to cherish that one for a while.
How unique is it for the defense to have to take on a backup? I know he's had games earlier this year. How unique is that challenge?
Yeah, I think it's unique, especially when you don't know until right before the game. But I got a little bit of time to kind of scout a little bit. He played a couple games this year, played some games from last year. So he got some tape to kind of look at and just kind of figure out what he does best and kind of treat him as a regular quarterback.
Hey, Nick, speaking of high school and college, we were talking to Patrick about his recruitment to Texas Tech. You came out of Texas high school football also.
Yeah.
What do you remember about your recruitment to Missouri? Is there anything you appreciate about how they...
Yeah, obviously I didn't have a lot of offers coming out, and so I was kind of waiting around for a couple of schools, Kansas, Missouri, Louisiana Tech was kind of like my last three after Washington dropped me. So Mizzou offered me a little bit after, maybe 14, 15 days before signing day. So I remember just being ecstatic, took an official visit, kind of felt like home, and just wanted to play in the SEC, so kind of checked all the boxes off, and that's kind of my recruitment in a nutshell. Probably about 21 days long, I guess, picking up good schools. So, yeah.
I've kind of thought this for a while. A lot of the players on your team who have been really good have had kind of similar stories than that. Not everyone on your team was a 5-star recruit and all that stuff. There are some guys. But do you think that's kind of a mentality that has been around this group, that even though you've won Super Bowls, you're in the National Football League, that you got a little bit of chip?
Yeah, I feel like it's a chip on the shoulder and also just a simple humbleness. Guys never, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us didn't have everything coming out of high school or have it all together or just wasn't highly talented guys. So I understand the team aspect of it. And yeah, I feel like that shows a lot of selfless guys trying to take things out for their own play a little bit, or they got better stats or chase things and put the team first. So I definitely see that.
Nick, are you a guy that you look at the standings? Are you aware of where you guys are in the standings at all?
And not really. It's a lot of football left to play. We're just trying to win a game every week.
So if I asked you right now, are you in or out of the playoffs if they were today? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure we're out. Kind of a mindset. We didn't play very well first couple weeks, so yeah, I'm pretty sure we're out. But I was just taking week by week.
Nick, you've seen Leo now from the very beginning of his professional career.
Yeah.
He's asked to do a lot of different things. In your mind, where has he progressed the most?
Yeah, he's always been great at the run defense. Honestly, his best thing he's probably done the last 2 years is communication, the IQ of the game, learning things around him, things that are happening. There's things that linebackers we can alert each other to. You can kind of see him kind of doing that a lot, and also just evolving in terms of being a D lineman a little bit. He's doing this a little bit more rushing, a little bit this year, and a little bit last year, but more this year. So adding that to his toolbox, and he's executing at a high level with that.
One of the things that you got to do was rest, but then the backups got to play. How much fun was it to be up there on the sideline watching Jack and Cooper go out there and kind of make plays?
Yeah, for those guys that didn't get a lot of reps throughout the week and able to go out there and execute the game plan. Obviously, last time the twos came in versus the Ravens, the touchdown was given up, and they kind of took that to heart. So it definitely was proud of them to go out there and have the success they had, keeping them from getting a couple first downs and keeping out the end zone. So it's definitely super cool to see those guys that don't get a lot of credit but do a lot for us throughout the week. I get a chance to go out there and sign on Sundays for sure.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, there's Nick Bolton. They get ready for the Commanders coming up on Monday. And, God, I really wish Nick Bolton would have said Texas recruited me to play quarterback. Like, that would have just been, would have been amazing. But no, he had some interest from Missouri and Kansas and Louisiana Tech. I think he made the right choice.
I know.
Michael, you think he made the right choice?
That pains me to hear.
Right? I mean, it's always.
I know he made the right choice. Yes. Imagine if Kansas would have had Jamar Chase and Nick Bolton, right?
I think, yeah. I mean,
wasn't that who it was? Wasn't Jamar Chase?
Jamar Chase committed for a day.
For a day.
Wow.
Yeah,
could have had Jamar and Nick Bolton.
Yeah, that's true. Let's take a timeout. And we will talk a little bit about things that we heard on in the press conference from Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Nick Bolton. Coming up at 1 o'clock, sports or leisure. We'll give away $25 to Johnny's Tavern in some sports or leisure. We'll take a timeout, come back. More Zone next. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy. There's some really fascinating news out of the SEC that just came down a little bit ago and is being discussed, at least from the report that I'm seeing, is being disseminated. I did not see this until just a little bit ago, but the report from Yellowhammer News that's also now being talked about at different places. Veteran SEC official Ken Williamson has been permanently suspended from officiating conference games in the SEC.
Yeah.
Maybe I just totally missed this, but it just crossed my timeline, and I see different people talking about it like in the last 5 minutes or so. I'm like, oh, what's this? There were 11 complaints in the Auburn-Georgia game. 9 of them were substantiated. Last week when we were talking about Missouri and Auburn, and I'm like, if anybody has complaints about getting screwed by officials, like it's Auburn this year and having some game-changing plays go against them. One of those being Jackson Arnold and a quarterback sneak. They were up 10-0 against Georgia. He quarterback sneaks. The ball comes out. It's called a touchdown on the field. They go to review, and even the camera angles on review looked like he crossed the goal line, and they called it a fumble. And it was like, hold on. There has to be so much evidence to show that it's a fumble that you overturn the call, but even the camera angles looked like he had crossed the line before the ball came out. They were up 10-0 at that point. Would have been up 17-0 on Georgia. They ended up losing 20-10 in that particular game. That's also the game where Kirby Smart called the timeout and then said I was clapping. That was Georgia-Auburn. Just a complete dysfunction of a game. And I'm going to guess that Ken Williamson, that this ain't the first game that there have been complaints that the SEC has had to deal with him. I don't think it's one bad game and you're suspended indefinitely from refereeing games.
I guess for that one, though.
Or permanently, not indefinitely, permanently suspended.
Wouldn't that not be on him? Because I don't know how I guess it worked for replay.
Yeah, he's the one that went to the replay and overturned it to a fumble.
So he's the one that overturned that.
Yeah, he went to the replay.
Okay, I forget in college, because I know NFL you go to, what's it, Secaucus? Or is that NBA? Whatever it is.
So Major League Baseball goes to New York.
Yeah, so I didn't know. And so in college football, is it just the refs on the sideline? They get to look at the replay and make the decision? Because if that's the case, then that is damning. Because at first I was thinking, okay, well, if they go somewhere else, it's not his final decision. He's not the one that overturns it. But if he's the one that overturns that, then yes, that is a damning situation to be in. And then again, the amount of plays that were substantiated, 9 out of, you said 11?
9 of the 11.
That is not great, Bob.
And in the Oklahoma-Auburn game, Oklahoma's win over Auburn, the SEC acknowledged that the officials missed an, quote, unfair tactic on a trick substitution touchdown in Oklahoma's win over Auburn. I think that was where Oklahoma had somebody running off the field and then stopped right at the sideline, the old trick play that you see in high school, then stopped at the sideline and sort of blended in with everybody off the field. And then Auburn is lining up to defend Oklahoma with a guy way over there on the sideline that nobody sees. And the rules being that when you are heading in that direction, I guess it does count as a substitution that you then have to actually substitute if you get that close to the sideline to alleviate the, quote, unfair tactic that took place. So a couple of overturned touchdowns, or a touchdown that wasn't overturned and a touchdown that was overturned in a game, and apparently 8 other issues in that game. Clearly one of those had to be the Kirby Smart timeout.
I would have to imagine so.
So 7 others besides the 2 that stand out in that game. And Ken Williamson has been permanently suspended from the SEC. See, referees do get held accountable. Just maybe not in the NFL. I don't know. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, continue rolling, and we'll talk a little Chiefs football next. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy, heading up until 2 o'clock. 1 o'clock, we'll play some Sports or Leisure, presented by Johnny's Tavern.
Fact.
That's right. Sports or Leisure there with the final hour of the show. I should also point out, I forgot, I had to look it up, but Mike McCabe, who was the head official in the Mizzou and Kansas game, Big 12 officials, he got suspended for a game.
Is he back yet?
I think it was only one game suspension, and that was because they allowed Mizzou to punt a kickoff just randomly. That wasn't after a safety.
Mad he has to be at Eli for Eli's response as well, saying, I just wanted to see if we could.
Just wanted to see if we could, and they said yes. Okay, well, also, you're the head referee. Why would you allow them to punt a kickoff? Like, what are you doing, dude? You can't just do that after, if it's not, a drop kick or whatever, but just punting the kickoff after just a touchdown, like, it's so stupid.
I don't know why it makes me laugh, but I just know that he has to be just like, are you kidding me? Such an obscure thing, and you're getting me suspended a game because you just wanted to see if you could.
And the Big 12 is like, yeah, and there's a lot of coaches that might ask you if they can do things that aren't allowed in the rules. It's your job to say no. Don't allow it. And Ken Williamson, it's your job to assess a timeout to Georgia when Kirby Smart acts like he's clapping, but he was actually calling a timeout. A couple of Chiefs nuggets, and that is Kareem Hunt not practicing today with a bone bruise in his knee. Trey Smith not practicing, low back spasms. Josh Simmons not practicing still not with the team. As far as the Commanders are concerned, Dan Quinn has already ruled out Jaden Daniels. We saw that yesterday, but today he made it official that Marcus Mariota will start. But also, Deebo Samuel and Terry McLaurin have returned to practice there in Washington. So it looks like Mariota will have better weapons to throw to when he's there in the game on Monday night. The line, by the way, has not changed with McLaurin and Deebo back at practice. It's still sitting at 12.5, although it has gone up in the total.
We'll see what it looks like.
This morning it was 46.5, and now it's 47.5. So maybe it's still 12.5, though.
We'll see what it looks like. I mean, Terry McLaurin's missed the majority of the season so far. Deebo missed last week with a heel injury.
Yeah.
So even if they go, how effective will they be? Behind them, Jalen Lane, Luke McCaffrey, and Noah Brown, who was supposed to be part of their big three, is been on the IR. And then you have Chris Moore. You know, they have Zach Ertz, Ben Sinnott, K-State in the house.
There you go.
I thought Ben Sinnott would be a much larger part of their game plan. Zach Ertz, they tried to get the ball to a lot last week, but he had himself a bad game.
Yeah. Yep. 913-381-0810 is the phone number to play some Sports or Leisure. One other quick note about Jawan Taylor. Andy Reid was asked about him with limited penalties and said, what's happened since then, those first couple of games. And he said his mindset, making sure he's taking care of penalties. And certainly he's been playing good football. He had those 6 penalties in the first 2 weeks of the season. He's had 2 penalties in the last 5 weeks.
And one was not his fault.
And yeah, it's a great call. He's had 1 penalty in the last 5 weeks after the 6 that were his fault.
Yeah.
In the first 2 games of the season. We'll take a time out, come back, continue rolling Sports or Leisure next.
to sports, but nothing wrong with a little leisure time. Why not both?
You're going to have a heart attack by the time you're 40 if you don't learn to relax.
It's time for sports or leisure on The Zone with Jason Anderson.
All right, let's play some sports or leisure. 913-381-0810. Final hour of the show here on a Thursday. Sports or leisure presented by Johnny's Tavern. $25 to Johnny's Tavern. We give you, if you get a sports question and a leisure question right, either of them wrong, you lose, but the question is out there available for someone to call in and request. We give out the right answer when it has been answered correctly, or we have simply run out of time to play. That's how you play sports or leisure on this Thursday. 913-381-0810 is the phone number. Categories today. Told you last week, with the World Series starting tomorrow night, we have Royals 2015 World Series questions, the 10-year anniversary. The questions are specific about what took place in the 5 games in the World Series in 2015, not the lead-up or the run-up or any of those other games, or the 85 World Series or the 80 or the 14, doesn't matter. 2015, those 5 games specifically. And we have some general NFL questions out there if someone wants to go the NFL route, the football route. What about on the leisure side, Sterling?
We'll keep riddles still. I have about 4 riddles still left. We're going to do Kiss in honor of Ace Frehley passing away. We're going to do Kiss. I have a few Kiss questions if you're a fan of the band. If you're not, it's not too hard, I don't think, if you at least know who Kiss is and listen to them in any sort of way. And then we have another new another new category called Name That Movie.
Mm-hmm.
Name That Movie. They'll all be famous movies. I will give a quote or two from the said movie. You name the movie. It won't be like the movie Pootie Tang. I'm not going to be like Sarate or Biggie Shorty or any of that stuff. It won't be Pootie Tang. They'll be famous movies.
I love it, dude.
Although Pootie Tang, most underrated film in the history of programs.
Yeah, many people are saying that.
Many people have said that.
Many, as in one person I've ever heard say
3.
that.
I know at least 3.
No, you don't. Yeah, the 2 people living in your head.
There are dozens of us.
Yeah, that live in your head that all agree with Pootie Tang.
It's the one thing that we all agree on.
I love Pootie Tang. I'm a big fan of Pootie Tang. I like Pootie Tang. Oh, I think I like Pootie Tang. Why does this guy in my head have that random accent? I don't know.
I love it, yeah.
It's weird. All right, those are the categories. 913-381-0810. I'm ready to play. Sterling, you good to go?
Why not?
Michael, what say you? Ready to play?
I am good to go.
All right, let's do it then. Let's head and bring in Nick to the game here. Sports or leisure. Nick, what side do you want to start with?
We'll start with leisure.
All right, we got Name That Movie, we have Riddles, and we have Kiss in honor of Ace passing away.
We'll try and name that movie.
Name That Movie. Holy shnikes! You could fit a candy bar, a 6-pack of soda.
Anything you want to keep cold, yes.
Anything you want to keep cold, yeah.
Oh, he's got an office. Why wouldn't he? He's been here 5 minutes.
Is that a Chris Farley movie?
It sure is.
Certainly is.
Is it Tommy Boy?
It is Tommy Boy.
Tommy Likey.
Tommy want wingy.
I can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking my head up a bull's ass, but wouldn't you take the butcher's word for it? That's right. On to the sports side, we've got Royals 2015 World Series and general NFL.
We'll do general NFL.
All right. Patrick Mahomes has started 119 games in his career, and he has 93 wins now, which moves him into second most all-time wins for a quarterback in his first 125 starts. Who has the most wins in their first 125 starts in the NFL? Patrick Mahomes has 93. This player has actually 96, which, by the way, means the 6 games remaining for Mahomes, if he goes 4-2, he will then have the record for most wins in a quarterback's first 125 games, which 4-2 is clearly, realistic.
There's a couple ways you can go with this, because you can go with there's a name I'm really thinking of but he didn't have a whole bunch of postseason success.
That would be not the person.
Oh,
I'm leaning towards a lot of postseason.
Postseason.
Retired.
Now, postseason, yes, retired, but postseason doesn't count in this. But this person had a ton of quick postseason success.
Just kind of
a lot.
toss the dirt and say Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is correct.
Okay, I didn't know it was going to be that.
Yeah.
I was like, is it going to be like Joe Montana? I actually thought originally, well, it wouldn't because he was so bad early on. I was going to say Peyton Manning because Peyton Manning had so many
they were
regular
like 3
season
and
wins.
13.
Yeah, but then after that, he had so many regular season wins. I'm like, is it going to be someone who?
But Tom Brady had 96 wins in his first 125 starts. Patrick Mahomes has 93, and he has 6 more starts before he gets to 125. So a 4-2 record for Patrick Mahomes. He gets to 97 and surpasses Tom Brady. And something else. That is a winner, Nick. We will put you on hold and get your information. Congratulations, sir. Absolutely. 913-381-0810. We bring into the game. It is Dave. Next up on Sports Radio 810, Dave, sports or leisure, what side do you want to start with?
Let's go sports.
All right, 2015 World Series or NFL?
Let's go World Series.
All right. The Royals obviously won 4 games in that series, but only one starting pitcher of the 5 games they played was credited with a win for the Royals. Who was it?
Wow.
The only pitcher to get a World Series win in those 4 games that they won.
And that person is a starter, you said?
He was a starter. Yeah, I mean, obviously, with the Royals getting 4 wins, they had 3 relievers get wins, but only one actual starter won the game because the Royals didn't have to come back in that game.
Well, I know you only have an hour, so I won't have to think about. I'm going to say Jeremy Guthrie.
It is not.
That wasn't his final answer, though. He was
sure?
just thinking out loud.
That was 2014.
I feel like Dave was thinking about 2014. I think he
Is
was
that right?
thinking the wrong year.
Yeah, because they only won 3
Sterling
games
and I
in
think alike. Yeah, so that was
2014.
the year they won the World Series.
Yeah, 2015 when they won.
15 when they won, not when they won the
not Jay
AL.
Gutz. Yeah.
And would it be somebody that would come off the tip of my tongue? Can you hit me that?
I don't know. I have no idea what's on the tip of your tongue.
Could be a lot of things.
Would it be somewhat obvious?
That I don't know either.
Was he with the team all year?
No.
Okay. Cueto.
It was Johnny Cueto, yes. Well done. Game 2. Game 2, he had the complete Game 2 hitter.
Yeah.
Johnny Cueto.
I was
2
just
hits.
testing you all along.
I knew it. Over to leisure with Sterling.
Johnny Baseball. Name that movie, Riddles, and then Kiss in honor of Ace passing away.
Well, I grew up with Kiss, but I didn't like them. Would that be should I take a shot on Kiss?
I mean, yeah,
They're
they're
might
not
be on the tip of your tongue.
They're not super hard.
So who knows?
Touche. Yeah, let's go Kiss.
All right, here's probably the easiest one. Name the main 4 members of Kiss.
Oh God. Well, Freely and Simmons.
Yep.
Oh boy.
The other 2 had face paint. I remember that.
Well, they all did too, even the ones that
I
eventually.
wouldn't recognize them either.
What?
Boy.
I did not know that.
They all had solo albums too that came out at the same time.
Is this a riddle?
No, this is not a riddle. But actually, it is funny. The last 2 you haven't named, Biblical.
Oh.
And there's another band I think that actually had the name of If I Had a Hammer.
Was one of them
their first names?
Was one of them King James?
If I Had a Hammer, I'd hammer in the morning.
Wow.
Isn't that?
Biblical. I know Jesus wasn't in the Who. Let's see, or in Kiss.
Correct.
Got my Who T-shirt on. That's what
Neither was Judas. I'll give you that too.
I'd say go with King James.
Complete blank, you two. Thank you, but
Dave, thank you for playing, man. I appreciate it. Well done. All right, 913-381-0810. Let's bring in. It is Tim next up on Sports Radio 810. Tim, sports or leisure? What side do you want to start with?
I was going to do Kiss anyway, so I'll just take that one Dave didn't get.
All right.
Go right ahead.
Paul Stanley and Peter Criss.
Correct.
The other members.
Peter
Fraley and
Chris.
Peter, Paul, and Mary, I think, was the band I was trying to give him the hint on. Was that if I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning.
The Magic Dragon. That might have worked better.
Yeah, I was trying my best.
That might have been them.
They're biblical. Peter.
You a pothead, Tim?
Peter Criss, not Christ or Christ. It's Chris. Criss.
Okay, I see.
Catman. He's the Catman.
All right, so
I was hoping it'd be a song I'd have to name based on a certain lyric, but
Yeah,
all right, you got
I
the
could
band.
I could do
I
the
don't
lyrics
feel
to.
like I need
got
to
the band
take a
number, right?
real question after that.
I could have done
No,
"Lick It
you're
Up,"
good.
but I thought we
right.
wanted to keep the show going.
Yeah,
I didn't know if
let's
I
do
could
it.
do the lyrics for that.
All
That
good.
seemed a little.
Yeah, so let's do that.
was
Let's keep the
thinking
show going.
Detroit.
Yeah, Sports Side Royals 2015 World Series and General NFL. What you thinking?
And you guys generally NFL usually correlates to the Chiefs, though, right? Like the first question.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it has nothing to do with the Chiefs.
Oh, okay. I better.
And
go.
sometimes the answers are somebody from the Chiefs. It just General NFL has no like specific.
It's wonky.
Thing. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, and in the series against the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to guess the electric guy for that previous question where it was actually Cueto, so I may not know much about that World Series. Let's go General NFL.
All right, let's go with this one then. See, Drake May now has 6 straight games of at least 200 yards passing and a passer rating of at least 100. Wow. He is only the 3rd quarterback in history younger than 24, so to not turn 24 years old and to do that in at least 6 straight games. Name either of the other 2 players that were 23 or younger and have 6 straight games of 200 yards passing and a passer rating of at least 100.
So it does not have to be their rookie season when it occurred.
No, yeah, because if that's exactly right. Just it could be any year of their career as long as they were 23 years or younger, as long as they hadn't turned 24.
It wasn't the first 6 games, or was it requiring the first?
Nope, just at any point in a season, they had 6 straight games as long as they hadn't turned 24
I
yet.
got to go with Pat. He's got to be.
Patrick is correct. Patrick is the leader with 7, and then the second most that Drake May tied is Dan Marino.
Hey, I was going to say Marino.
6.
Wow, okay, so I'd have got that one.
So if Drake May has one more this weekend of 200 yards passing and a quarterback of 100, he will tie Patrick Mahomes.
I wish you would have let me answer because I think I would have got it correctly. I would have got it correctly, and I would have felt very smart.
Yes.
And now everyone thinks that I'm just copying you, and
Yeah,
I'm a liar.
Yeah, well, yes, they don't think that. I mean, they think that probably for a reason. Tim, we'll put you on hold to get your information. Congratulations, sir. We will take a timeout. We'll come back, continue rolling more Sports or Leisure next. All right, we'll continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Get back into playing a little sports or leisure. We head back to the phone lines, and so this is spelled health, but is that Heath?
That is Heath.
Heath, hope you're in good health. Welcome into a little sports or leisure. Heath, what side do you want to start with, sports side or leisure side?
I'll start with leisure.
All right, we have Kiss in honor of Ace passing. We have Riddles, and we have Name That Movie.
I'll go name that movie.
Pull Over. It's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing.
Oh, my God, I know that line.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber, yeah.
Tic Tac, sir.
I've loved that line for so long. That one and
a lot of good lines.
Well, what happened? Did the guy get away scot-free? No. Caught up with him halfway down.
Murdered him.
I don't think I can say the other part on radio, but
you get the point.
Yeah, you get the point.
Yep. All right. So some sports here. We got Royals 2015 World Series, and we have general NFL questions.
I'll go general NFL.
All right. So we gave this question out a couple of weeks ago about Jamar Chase having 6 games of 10 catches, 150 yards, and a touchdown. And then he went ahead and did it again last Thursday with his 16 receptions and 160 and a touchdown. So Jamar Chase now has 7 games in his career of 10 catches, 150 yards, and a touchdown. There are 5 active players besides Jamar Chase with at least 4 games of 10 catches, 150 yards, and a touchdown. Name 2. 5 active players of 10, 150, and 1. 4 times.
So 10 touchdowns?
10 receptions, 150 yards, and 1 touchdown in one game. And there are 5 active players that have had at least 4 of those games where they've had at least 10 receptions, 150 yards, and a touchdown in one game.
And there are 5 of them?
There are 5 active players.
Oh, 5 active.
Yeah, 5 active players. That's the thing. Yeah, these are active players. And all of them but one are pretty long in the tooth. At least been around a while as pass catchers.
God. 4.
So 10, 150, and 1.
10, 150, and 1.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Long in the tooth.
1 is not going to play for another couple of months now after a recent game. The other one, another one is probably not going to have another one in his career. Probably the last year of his career. Another one is with a good enough quarterback now, finally, that he could do that. He was a touchdown machine over the weekend. The quarterback was too. Another one returned to his team that he picked up a lot of these with, but returned there. So those are a few hints of these players.
One of them, who was that? Was one of them a Falcon?
No Falcons here. No Falcons. No. But one of them is in the NFC South. I don't know if that helps.
NFC South?
One of them is an NFC South player that's now going to be out for a while. Throw a dart, 2 names. Even 1 name at this point. Throw a dart. What do you say?
Amon St. Brown.
Amon-Ra is not correct. Not a bad guess, especially with the receptions there.
I bet Tyreek did it.
Tyreek is one of them.
Oh.
he definitely did it. Tyreek is definitely one of them. Throw out 1 more name, and I'll send you over to Leisure.
You already got Leisure.
He already got Leisure. Did he already get Leisure?
Did he get Leisure?
No. Did he get
Dumb and
Leisure?
Dumber.
He got Dumb and Dumber. Yeah. Sorry, it was so fast. Sorry, I'm dumb. And even dumb. That is incorrect. That is incorrect. Thank you for playing, man. I appreciate it. That was close.
Very close.
In fact,
shockingly close.
In fact, Godwin is real close. Let's go to John next up on Sports Radio 810, 913-381-810. John, sports or leisure, what side do you want to start with?
Well, I'll do sports. I'll clean up again off of someone else's misfortunes.
All right.
I hate doing that.
You're a great rebounder.
That's right. What do you think, John, sports side?
Well, it's Mike Evans was one.
Mike Evans is definitely one. He has 5 of them. Yeah. So Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, You want to?
Was Keenan Allen? Was Keenan Allen one?
Keenan Allen is one of them. That's the one that returned to the team where he got most of them. There are 3 more, and then you can move on to leisure. Just joking. One of them is not too far from where we're at right now. He's
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce, who I said is probably in the last year of his career and more than likely will not get another one of those 10, 150, and 1. The other one caught some touchdowns this weekend with a touchdown machine quarterback. That would be Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
He has 5. And then the last one, CeeDee Lamb, also has 4. So there you go. On to leisure with Sterling.
Name that movie, riddles, or kiss.
Oh, we got to do movies. Let's do movies.
All right, we will do movies. A gun rack. I don't even own a gun, let alone enough to require an entire rack.
What am I going to do
with a gun rack? You know, Wayne, if you...
really?
Yeah. You know...
I was going to say that and then leave out the name.
If you...
if you don't start treating me better, we're going to break up.
We're going to break up. Break up?
We broke up. What are you, mental?
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Now that we're done with that scene.
I thought I was pretty good with movies, but that is like... I'm trying to think of silly... It's a comedy.
It is a comedy.
What are we doing? We have backstage passes to Alice Cooper.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Wayne's World.
Nice. I like how you got that. We said Wayne, and you didn't get it, but you got that part. Love it. It's funny what stands out in people's minds when they watch movies.
And then Ed O'Neill takes the camera.
Yeah.
Why is it if you kill a man in the heat of passion, it's called murder, but if you do it in war, it's called heroic? Excuse me, no. Camera, over here. Over here. That's a winner, right? We'll put you on hold, John, to get your information. Congratulations, sir. We are still catching up from the press conferences. We'll take a quick timeout, come back, continue playing sports or leisure. More next. Hey, man, if you're out there and you happen to be suffering from erectile dysfunction, then it is a condition that can have many different causes. So don't try to find out if it's a one-size-fits-all alleviation of that because you don't know what's causing that particular condition. But you do know that condition can cause depression and arguments and breakups and even contribute to divorce. And that's why Heartland Men's Health is saying seek treatment. There is no reason to wait. Some men wait months, even years before they go and seek treatment. What for? There's no reason to wait around. Heartland Men's Health, they have been successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. It's what they do. It's your health. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Easy to do. Schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99, and that includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T, and that PSA test. And if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if the test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. You don't pay a dime. There you go. But if it does, hey, you're on your way. They've got an expert staff with 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and North Kansas City. Call them today at 844-447-6600. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com. 913-381-0810. Let's get back to the phone lines. Playing a little sports or leisure. $25 to Johnny's Tavern, premier sports bar in Kansas City, Lawrence, and Topeka with the 10 locations. You heard the Lance Leipold Coaches Show last night at 6 o'clock right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB from Johnny's in Lawrence. Let's head back to the phone lines. Playing for Johnny's Tavern, sports or leisure. Bill next up. Bill, what side would you like to start with, sir? The sports side or the leisure side?
Let me see. I'm going to go with let's go leisure.
All right. We have Name That Movie. We have Riddles. And we have Kiss in honor of Ace.
Wow, nobody's picking Kiss at all on this thing. I know a little bit about it. Seems like they might be easy questions. Let's go Kiss.
All right. Well, I'll give you the easiest one. Huge fans of Kiss are called what, or they are a part of what?
Kissers. Kissy faces.
Yeah, I want to say like Kiss Nation.
Kiss asses.
Kind of close. It's along those same lines. Not what Jason is saying at all.
Are you a Kiss ass? Yeah, I love the band, dude. Ah.
It was a very popular name. Gave out pins, P-I-N-S.
Oh.
You can get jerseys and everything that also say this. I believe at one point there may be even a subscription to this.
Deadheads.
Would you say it ends in?
I don't know. Jason keeps saying stuff. Huge fans of Kiss are called what or a part of what? Kiss blank.
His
Kiss
ass.
Army?
Your ass.
Kiss Army. It is
Happy
Kiss
Hanukkah.
Army.
Happy
Yes.
Hanukkah.
Oh man, that just came to me. Wow, love it.
Kiss Army.
All right, sports side. The Royals 2015 World Series and general NFL.
I'm going to go general NFL.
All right. Daniel Jones has led the Colts to 232 points in the first 7 games of the season. It's the second most scored with a quarterback's first 7 games as the starting quarterback of a franchise. As the main starting quarterback of the franchise, first 7 games of a season. Which quarterback's teams scored more? This quarterback led his team to 242 points in the first 7 games of the season as the starting quarterback for that franchise for the first time. First time as the starting quarterback. I'm trying to explain it here without giving away the answer, that it's as the starting quarterback, first 7 games of the season, but like the main starter and not necessarily the first 7 starts of his career or with the franchise. Anyway, any idea who it is?
I mean, geez. You want to say Pat Mahomes.
Then go ahead and say it.
Patrick Mahomes?
It was Patrick Mahomes, yes. See, as the starting quarterback, as the main starting quarterback, not the guy filling in for Week 18, right? Yes. It is Patrick Mahomes, 242 points they scored in 2018.
Daniel Jones.
And Daniel Jones put in the same category all the time.
Think of that.
Juxtapose right there.
I mean, right? Just the same guys, man. Bill, we'll put you on hold. Congratulations, sir. 913-381-0810. Shane next up on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Shane, sports or leisure, what side would you like to start with?
I got sports, World Series.
Sports World Series? Okay, let's go with, you know what? Let's do this one. This was a bad one, but it ended up being a great one. How did the lead run score for the Mets in the 8th inning of Game 1 with 2 outs?
Oh, there was, and you had me all fired up. I was thinking of Game 2, all the things from that earlier when you asked that question about Cueto.
Game 2 was amazing.
Game 1, right.
Game 1 was amazing, especially after this 8th inning.
Yeah.
Mainly the bottom of the 9th with 1 out with Alex Gordon. That was amazing. And then on to the 14th was amazing. But the run scored with 2 outs in the 8th inning, Game 1, tied at 3. The Mets got a run. How did they get that run?
Let's see. Was that I'm trying to think that was an error or it was
You're on the right track. No, you're on the right track. You're on the right track.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to kind of close my eyes and think of that game.
Mm-hmm. Think of a chopper to one of the infielders that tried to sort of one-time backhand it and missed it.
Well, I remember a guy used to backhand a lot of things, but he caught most of them.
Yeah.
Pretty good fielder,
Yeah.
generally.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and guess him because that hint kind of leads me down that path. Was it an error by Hosmer, maybe?
It was an error over at first base, the hard chopper just to his left that he tried to sort of scoop, and it went under his glove, and they scored what was the lead run. And it was like, how did Hosmer miss that? And it was also like, hey, there was 2 outs and a slow runner. You didn't have to one-time it. You know, you could have got in front of it and buried it and then just ran and beat
But
him
it's
to first.
way more fun to one time.
Because he was always able to sort of come through on that, you know?
And I always yelled in hockey.
Yeah,
One time. One-timer.
Yeah, they yell it in the Fugees as well. So one time. Is that the winner or we
That's
still got
a winner.
leisure?
He got.
All right, very good. Shane.
No. I've got to do leisure.
He's got to do
Oh,
leisure.
yeah,
Jesus, Sterling,
that's
I
on
asked
me.
you specifically.
I felt like Shane needed a win.
Shane's always a winner.
I'm out of it.
Kiss
do
in
need a win.
honor of Ace passing. Riddles or name that movie?
Well, like a lot of people, I appreciate Kiss, but not a big Kiss fan, and I've known some of the questions you've asked, so I'm not going to press my luck because they'll
No
be a hard
whammies.
one. So I'm
Get
going to
some
go
whammies.
with name that movie.
Name that movie. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Billy Madison.
That is Billy Madison.
See, there's a winner now. You just knew he was going to get that
I just
question
knew.
anyway.
I figured, why do I have to
Yes.
waste one of my leisure questions when I know Shane's going to get it right?
Shane, we'll put you on hold. Well done, sir.
Thanks, guys. Have a great one.
Absolutely, you too. All right, last contestant here, and then we'll take another break. Mark, wrapping up some sports or leisure with us on this Thursday. Mark, what side do you want to start with, sports side or the leisure side?
What's going on, guys? I'll do leisure. I'll do the movies.
All right, name that movie. Tina, you fat lard, come get some dinner. Tina, eat the food.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite, yeah. I can throw a football over those mountains, too.
Gross. Just use one of the nurse's chapsticks. She's got like 15 in her drawer. Gross. All right, on to the sports side. What are you thinking? Royals 2015 World Series, or we have a couple general NFL questions left?
Let's go general NFL.
All right, general NFL for you. Let's see. Jared Goff has 7 games now of at least 3 touchdown passes and 80% completion percentage. That's the 5th most all time. 2 players are tied for the most. Name either. 2 players, 17 games. Yeah, 17 games of at least 3 touchdowns and at least 80% completion percentage.
Well, you said 17, so that doesn't include playoffs. It includes just a new 17-game season, yeah?
Yeah, but they play. Yeah, but I mean, it's 17 games in their overall career that they have.
I got you.
Yeah. So they've had 17 games in their career where they've thrown at least 3 touchdowns and completed 80% of their passes. Jared Goff picked up his 7th of his career. That's actually the 5th most all time.
Yeah.
But
I will take
either
I know
of
it
the
was
two.
pretty accurate. Joe Montana.
It's not a bad guess, but we'll give you one because it's could be a walk-off here, Mark. So one more guess, and then we got to go with the break.
Oh, shoot. Now you're making it tough. All right.
They played in the same era.
I have 2 that I think are.
Yeah, they played in the same era, and in fact, against each other in one pretty big game.
Oh, shoot. It's not so good. Now you're making it even harder on me. Easier and harder at the same time. Joe played. He didn't complete as many passes, but I knew he could throw a bunch of touchdowns. Elway, I don't know.
It was not Elway. Mark, thank you for playing, man. I appreciate it, sir. We do have to go to break, but
So I was thinking, just with that, maybe I'm misunderstanding the question. I was thinking Drew Brees.
Drew Brees.
Yeah, Drew Brees. And then was Peyton Manning also? Okay,
Yep.
so I got 2. Okay.
And they played against each other in the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. But yeah, Drew Brees and Peyton Manning both have 17.
Yeah.
We take a timeout, come back, and wrap up the show next. All your favorite NBA players are back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. With more markets open for more of the game, DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is live when others aren't. And new customers, a great deal for you. Bet just $5 and get 3 months of NBA League Pass, plus score $300 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. That's code 810WHB. Bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass, plus get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Kansas only. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
All right, wrapping things up here on this Thursday edition of the show. Tonight, Vikings-Chargers right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Man, something's telling me the Vikings go in there and win. I don't know. And I don't know if that is my hope or my thought on this game. I think I've had a pretty decent read on some of the AFC West games that have been played, and especially with the Chargers. And I feel like the Vikings are going to go in there and handle business tonight.
Wow.
I don't.
Bold.
Yeah.
I don't.
With the Chargers are 3.5-point favorites, would you take the Chargers minus the points? Or?
Correct.
See, I'll take the Vikings plus the points, and then because I also think they can just win outright.
I think the under could be a play. I don't know if I love it. Just Thursday, because Thursday night traditionally had been the under time and time again, but recently it feels like the over has been kind of hit and it's kind of reversed this year. I don't know. I think the Chargers' offense is really starting to get going. Obviously, that tight end, Aronde Gadsden. But you also have Ladd McConkey and Keenan Allen. I do believe in the Chargers' offense. I know they lost bad to the Colts, but I think they bounce back. And the Vikings' defense is really good. I'm not going to disagree with that. But Carson Wentz, you just don't know what you're going to get.
He's like a box of chocolates, some would say.
He's very much like a box of chocolates, and half of them are poison. I don't think you want to take that gamble, so I'm not going to gamble on the poisonous box of chocolates.
Gamble.
I'll roll with the Chargers. I don't like it, but I'm at least going to be honest in my assessment and not be a AFC West hater.
Yeah, I just the injuries stacking up. I believe in the Vikings defense,
and that's fair.
And the Chargers defense, the Colts. Now the Colts are an awesome offense this year. We've seen that, but again,
Best
going in there,
the NFL so far,
putting up 38 points on them, and it's just like, can the Vikings offense do enough to win the game based on what I think the Vikings defense will be able to do against the Chargers tonight? But we'll find out. Obviously, the big news around the country is the NBA and the gambling probe that has now resulted in many arrests. 30 different people being arrested. Oddly enough, or not oddly enough, expectedly enough, the only names that were actually mentioned were the stars, the Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and Damon Jones. Weren't there a bunch of other people that were arrested and nobody says other? Well, you got to say the famous people, right?
Yeah.
And also, those were completely separate things. It's not like Terry Rozier was about in games and being accused of insider trading, essentially. And Chauncey Billups is being accused of being around a poker game run by the mafia, a high stakes poker game and things like that. So completely separate gambling parts of an investigation.
We're going to get rid of these Kiss questions because no one really picked them. The band Kiss was originally called what?
Smooch.
Wicked Lester.
Damn it.
Kiss didn't get big until they did what for an album?
Took steroids.
Live. Kiss Alive. And then they all blew up. Name one of the other drummers not named Peter Criss.
Billy.
Eric Carr. The Fox, or Eric Singer.
Okay.
They went with Eric for some reason.
What did the Fox say?
Do. Yeah.
He did that. Soren Petro, Curtis Seabolt, program next.